Okay, so now the fourth labor might be producing, let's say, 41 cakes, like this. So you know what you can see here, that is it's increasing, that's true, but increasing like here, how much is increasing? When you increase one extra labor, 10, 9, 8, decreasing slowly. You see that? So it's not, it is called increasing your production, but at a decreasing rate. Okay? That's how we mean here, diminishing marginal product or return. Okay? So how they mean here is this. Let's say labor is the only variable input. In our case, in coffee shop, we already showed you that when we change the labor only, other things remain the same. Okay? Management remain the same. Our premises remain the same. Everything remains the same. Okay? We're just changing the labor, increasing one extra labor, we are increasing. And we're checking how much of production going high. And we found that every time we add an extra labor, oh my God, this production is going down actually. The first person had a production of 15 units. Okay. Second person came up, it's not 15 anymore. It looks like they're producing 28, 14 units. It's reducing the, you see? That's what we mean here. That increasing at a decreasing rate. Okay, yes. And now you can ask me a question, why this is happening, why it happens actually. Okay, that's a good question, why it happens. I'll give an example, I'll give you some reasons why it happens. So let's say you increase your labor, at the same time you have to increase your capital too. How do you mean by increase your capital too? I mean this way, increase your capital meaning this, that you will be actually need extra space for this extra labor. You need extra equipment for this extra labor. You need extra workspace for this labor. Make sense? So these things, you need extra tools for the same, for the labor, extra labor. So sometimes it happens that these laborers have to share their tools, equipment. Maybe also they have some extra leisure time too as well. Okay. So all this together, their production actually goes down. Okay. So 5 people used to work in a, let's say in a kitchen. Now you're increasing to, slowly it increased to 8 people. So 8 people will be congested for 8 people to work. The productivity will go down because they do not have enough space to work. Okay. And also they will have to share their equipment, tools, these things as well. Okay. So these are the various reasons the productivity goes down actually. Okay. As more and more variable inputs are added to fixed inputs, you see that? Variable inputs means your labor, which I'm changing. Variable means you're changing these inputs. Fixed input means other things remaining fixed. Those are fixed inputs. Like labor is the variable input here, and these things, this productivity in inputs, prices of input, these are fixed. Also, your premises are fixed. Your capital are fixed. It's not increasing. Okay, that's how this problem comes up. After a certain level, marginal price will increase the rate. Okay, I will not go in there. Marginal product will increase at a decreasing rate. Okay, marginal product will be increasing at a decreasing rate. Remain constant and then start falling. This is not diminishing marginal product. Okay, so how it will be look like? It will be actually going slowly. This should, okay, let me see. You see like this one. Okay, after certain stage, okay, it will fall. Here also, look at here, it will also fall after certain stage. Marginal product will fall. Okay, yes. Now, let's move on, long run versus short run. I already explained you what long run and short run means. How long is the long run and how long is the short run? The long run is not defined as a specific period of time. As I told you before, it's not about time. It's about your factors of production being changed. In economics, okay, in economics. In accounting, maybe time. In business discipline, that might be time. But in economics discipline, no, short run and long run depends on its factors of productions. Okay, hope this thing is clear. So what is short run then? As I said, when at least one factors of production is fixed, like here I said, any one. Okay, most of the time, as I said, that I always use my own words to explain you in an easier way. Okay, short run is when any one of the four factors of productions will remain constant, will not change, unchanged. Okay, remain same. So three of them is changed. For example, let's say 10 labor is now changed, becoming, let's say, 21 labor. 100,000 capital now turned into, let's say, $250,000 capital now. Management people also increase. Let's say it was 6 people management, now it's 8 people management. But it's still they're working on the same premises, 200 square meter. Okay? Let's say this one unit is still fixed. I will say this is still short run. Okay? We will say it is still short run. When all factors of production will be changing, then we will say this is in the long run. So how long it might take? Oh, okay, it depends. Some business grows very quick, some business grows very slow. For example, Sydney Airport. We need a new Sydney Airport now after how many years? Maybe after 100 years. But at the same time, if you look at coffee shop, maybe coffee shop owner open another new branch very quick. Maybe in 6 months' time, he's opening a new branch. That is, for coffee shop, we'll say that 6 months is long term. Okay? If all four factors of production needs to be changed in 6 months' time, this 6 months will be his long term. Okay, that's how we'll consider these things. Okay? Yes. Now let's move on. Okay, long run is a period of which all factors of productions can be varied, can be changed. Long run is a time period long enough for all important information and choices to be available to make decision making. So let's move on. Explicit cost, interesting one. Explicit cost and implicit cost, interesting two of these things. Explicit cost means cost that you can see, you can feel. How can you feel cost? Okay, well, there are costs you can see. Right, the money is going out of your pocket, you can see that. Explicit cost. Implicit cost, maybe you don't see the money is going in an indirect way. That implicit cost. How do you mean? Okay, in terms of, let's say you gave a loan. Okay, you gave a loan to your friend. You are not going to actually charge him an interest, right? So you see that you're giving the money and he returned your money back later on. You feel like nothing lost. Actually, it's not true. You did not see that you could have earned some interest through this money. I'm not saying I'll charge your friend some interest. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Okay. Interest income. Now, let me give you more example. Let's say you have invested $100,000 in your business, right? Okay. This $100,000 could be $100,000, let's say, was in bank account, and this $100,000 was bank account, and you are receiving interest of, let's say, every year you've been receiving, let's say, $2,500. You're receiving as interest. Okay. Then all of a sudden, what you did is this. Okay, now I will not bother this line in here. Let's keep it as it is. I'll take you guys to a new page. Okay, so what you did is that you took this $100,000 out of the bank account. Out of bank account and invested in business. Then what happened is this, you made a profit. How did you make the profit? Let's say your sales are, let's say, 200,000, and your cost are actually, let's say, 150. 75,000. So you made a profit of, let's say, $25,000. Okay. Now you are very happy with these things that you made $25,000 profit. Okay. So this profit is your explicit. You can see this. This cost here, $175,000 cost. That's your. You can see this cost. This is gone. But one thing you're forgetting here, which is called, look, this $100,000 was actually in the bank account. That was actually giving you $2,500 as an interest income. Okay, interest income. But now you are not receiving this income anymore. So for economics point of view, this is actually when you talk calculated profit like this way, this is actually called accounting profit. Okay, this is called actually accounting profit. I would like to actually make it put them in a table and you guys can see it better way. Okay, all right, that's okay. So here, so this is actually your accounting profit. Now I'll show you here economics profit. Okay, economics profit will say this, that yes, cost of this, there's no doubt about it. And I believe these will make your concept very clear about this one, implicit and explicit cost. All right, so this one is called accounting profit, and this is called economic. In this case in here, it remained the same, nothing changed. It's all exactly the same, nothing wrong in here. We all understand these things, that's okay. But this one says a little bit more, that the opportunity you had, okay, opportunity of interest income is lost. Okay, so this is the problem we have with economics. They will say, I have lost another $2,500 I lost. $2,500 we lost. So these also needs to be subtracted. Okay, this should be subtracted. Bracket means minus. Any of you who had an accounting class, they know that bracket means minus. Okay, always in accounting. Yes. So it's another, then it will not be 2,000, this will be actually 2,000, 22,500. Okay, that's actually profit. So accounting profit is this, 25,000, but economics profit is 20. Because why is that? There is an implicit cost involved in here. This cost is explicit cost. This is cost, this is your explicit cost. But this is your implicit cost. This is your implicit cost. Okay. Hope the concept is clear here. Any questions for me, guys? So what is implicit cost? Implicit cost are those costs which was your opportunity cost of your investment. Okay. So it could be interest income on capital. It could be time. Okay. Economic costs are the sum of explicit and implicit cost. So now they mean here this. So what is economic cost? Economic cost means cost of this both. See that? In economics, cost of these two. In accounting, cost is just the explicit cost. You see that? That's the explicit cost is your accounting cost. Okay. But implicit cost means implicit cost here is your in economic. So accounting do not consider implicit cost. economics consider implicit cost. In economic cost, so this two is known as economic cost, and this cost is known as accounting cost. Economic cost is consist of explicit and implicit both. Accounting cost is actually consist of explicit cost only. So you can say here accounting perspective, and this is economic perspective. So this is your profit, and this is here is your cost, total cost. Okay. Yes. This is the total cost of inputs, raw materials, labor, everything. And again, another thing that I try to establish here is this one. Okay. Here, total revenue. How do you calculate your total revenue? Total revenue or sales. How do you calculate that? Revenue. So I would like to say it actually total revenue. Total revenue. How do you calculate total revenue? Total revenue is calculated by multiplying price and quantity. That's how you calculate total revenue. Price into quantity. Always remember this one. Price into quantity. Okay, that's your total cost. And in a graph, how do you show this total cost in graph? Okay, I'll draw a graph and show you how do we show these things. And I think I need to share whiteboard. Okay, draw. So here is, I'll do very roughly, okay? All right. So this side is your price. Okay, this side is your price. And this side is your quantity. Okay. Let's say I draw a line in here. So the color of my line is blue. And this is my demand curve. And let's say that this is my supply curve in here. Okay. Here is my supply curve. So where is my price line? Price is in here. Price is actually in, I'll draw this one. So this is equilibrium point. Okay. So your price line is in there. That's your price. And where is your quantity? Okay. Quantity is in here. That's your quantity. Okay. So this is your price, P. This is your quantity, Q. What is your revenue? Revenue is rectangle, this rectangle here. If I put here, sign of, let's say 0, and let's say here equilibrium point in here. I say equilibrium point E. Okay. So here is E in here. So what is, so you can see here, P is this much. And I'll use this one then. This much is your P. And this much is your Q. Okay. So the area of this one here, POQE, this is your revenue. All right. POQE, this rectangle is your revenue. Okay. That's the total revenue. Always remember these things. Okay. So we know this, we know the rectangle formula, right? How do you calculate the area of a rectangle? P multiplied by Q. That's it. Okay, now let's move back to my screen share now. Okay, so you understand these things. Total revenue is P into Q. And total cost will be like fixed cost plus variable cost, that is total cost. So total revenue minus total cost here is your profit. Yeah, top. Okay. Yes. So what is sunk cost? Sunk cost, a cost that have already been incurred and cannot be recovered. And non-sunk cost is cost that are incurred if a particular decision is made. Okay, let's move on. We have a lot more other things to look at. Now we'll talk about fixed cost, variable cost. We'll talk about these things. What is a fixed cost? What is a variable cost? Okay. Okay, they actually did not show you this. Okay, I'll show you some graphs too here. I would like to add some graphs in here as well. Okay, now let's talk about fixed cost first. What is a fixed cost? And what is a variable cost? Fixed cost and variable cost depends on production volume. Okay, if it happens that your cost is changing, or your cost varies with your production output level. For example, I'll take you guys in here again now, a new thing. Okay, fixed cost and variable cost. Costs which are fixed without any production volume, regardless of any production volume level, that is fixed cost. Examples. First example I can give you is the rent. You have rented a premises to produce something. Then you did not produce. It doesn't matter you produce or not. You have to pay your rent. Whether you produce one, you produce two, or you produce thousands, that's not the problem of the landlord. The fixed cost is rent. Then let's say watchman's salary. Watchman's salary. Again, say admin cost. Okay, administrative expenses. Fixed cost. Variable cost, when you produce something, the cost increases. For example, raw materials you need. You need raw materials. You need direct labor. Okay. You can ask me, what is direct labor? Direct labor is the labor who is directly related with the production process. Like administration, they have labor too. In admin, there are some people working there. They're also labor, but they're not direct labor, they're indirect labor. Okay. So raw materials, direct labor, these things will change. Now let me give you an example. Let's say, again, I'll go back, I'll take you back to the coffee shop. It's a coffee shop, rent. You have to pay whether you make sales or not. Now, let's say you make sales. Okay. And what you did, you are producing, let's say, 20 cups of coffee. Now what you do, 20 cups of coffee. Now you need, if you produce coffee, you need coffee beans. Coffee beans is your raw material. That's your variable cost. Is raw materials, and this is your variable cost. The more coffee you will make, the more coffee beans you will need. The more coffee cups you will need, not only this. Coffee cups you will need. More coffee cup lids you will need. Coffee cup lids you will need. More sugar you will need. Sugar. What goes with that product, you will need that more. Make sense? These are all your variable cost. But look at your rent. If you produce thousands copy, doesn't matter, rent is same. If you produce 0 copy, rent is same. That's fixed. Hope it's clear to you all. Now let me draw these things and make it easier for you guys to understand how it looks like. Okay, how it looks like. It's very simple, very simple. You guys will like it. It's a very simple one. Okay, so it's price and quantity, right? Now let me draw a line here, and I want to make it a different color. Let's say I take it a pink color. Okay, let's say this is your fixed cost. See, fixed cost. This is your fixed cost line. Fixed cost line. Why fixed? It's like a horizontal line. Look, this is your quantity, right? Demand and supply. It means produced or sold, whatever it is. Look, what about the quantity? Quantity is 0. Still your fixed cost is here. Quantity is Q. Fixed cost is same. Quantity, when quantity goes more and more, fixed cost will remain the same. It doesn't change. That fixed cost. Okay. Now let's talk about variable cost. I should write it down here. So this blue one is actually your text. Blue one is actually your demand curve. So you write down demand curve. Green one is actually your supply curve. Supply curve. This is fixed cost curve. This is actually line to understand the graph. Okay, this is not anything else. Okay, yeah. Now I wish things could be like dot line, but here I cannot make any dot line. Yeah. Anyway, now let's draw the variable cost line. How the variable cost looks like. Okay. So now let's go again here. Variable cost will look like this. Let me use this line. Variable cost will start from 0, because if your production is 0, costing is also 0 for variable cost. See? If your production is 0, your variable cost is also 0. That's why variable cost will start from right here. And it will take a slope. Which slope it will take? I don't know. Okay. That's your variable cost, for example. Now let's say in this way. That's your variable cost. It should not be that sharp. Okay. I don't want you guys to get confused that it will connect here or there. It's not like this. Okay, this is your variable cost. And now I'm going to draw your total cost. Okay, so I should write it down here, text. This is your variable cost. Now I'm going to draw total cost. Can I copy this? No, I cannot copy this, right? No, I cannot. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll draw another line. Okay. Total cost will be, so let me use which color? I will use now red color, for example, total cost. Total cost will start from the fixed cost, this point. See? Total cost will start from this fixed cost point. But it will be parallel to the variable cost. Why is that? So don't think that it will have to go through E. No, it's not necessarily it will have to go through E, not necessarily. Okay, I think this is better now. Yeah, this is okay. Now you guys can understand. It will not have to go through E, not necessarily. Okay, so why it starts from here? Because at 0 point, even if you do not have any variable cost, but you have to pay your fixed cost in here. Now, if I like to draw, I like to show you guys another line. Too many lines are in here, so let me write it down here. This is actually our total cost. Our total cost. Okay, so now we can see here fixed cost, variable cost, total cost. Now let me actually delete these things like supply curve, demand curve, equilibrium thing. I'll take it off so you guys will not get confused with those things. Okay. Yeah, so you just don't get confused with these things. This is your cost lines actually. See that? So now if I draw a line here by myself, let's say this is the line I draw here. Okay, and I take this is let's say on here too. Draw a line in here. Okay, I'll tell you this. This much is your fixed cost. Fixed cost is your this much. That's your fixed cost. Okay. Variable cost, how much is your variable cost? Variable cost is this much. Variable cost is here to till here. Okay, like this point I am talking about. Okay, till this much, that's your variable cost. Okay, look, when your look at here, when your quantity increases, fixed cost remain the same, but your variable cost slowly increasing. Fixed cost is always in here. Variable cost will be increasing at point Q. This now, if I draw another line at point, let's say I'm drawing another line at point here. Let's say in here, drawing a line in here. Look, till purple line, I mean the pink line is here, is fixed cost. The rest is your variable cost. Again, same thing. How much is fixed cost? This much is your fixed cost. Same. Fixed cost doesn't change. But variable cost, look at this one. This one will changing. It was this much in here, but you see now the variable cost is too high in here. So, yeah, this one to this one, from here to till here. That much is your variable cost. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Another thing I tell you guys, 100% guaranteed that you see from Q to till this much, okay, till this point, whatever the value is exactly the same value from this green line. Okay, because it's parallel line to each other. That's why. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now I think. Okay, let's go in. So we know fixed cost, because we know variable cost. We know what this thing, we know total cost as well. Total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. That's, you know. What is average cost? Average cost is cost divided by quantity. That's average cost. So average fixed cost, the total fixed cost divided by quantity produced, average fixed cost. Total average cost divided by quantity produced, average variable cost. So if you add up average fixed cost plus average variable cost, what you will get? Average cost or total average cost, whatever you say. Fixed plus variable is give total cost, but the average of fixed and variable, it is actually the average cost. Okay. Here it is. So here, cost means total cost equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. So divide by output to find the cost per unit. So divided by output. So total cost divided by quantity, average cost. Total fixed cost divided by quantity, average fixed cost. Total variable cost divided by quantity, average variable cost. Okay. Yes. Now, another thing you need to understand here is average and marginal cost. Average and marginal cost. Okay. What is average cost? We know this. Cost divided by quantity, that's average cost comes up. What is marginal cost then? Marginal cost is to produce, like here, cost of producing an additional unit of output. To produce one extra unit, how much you have to pay more. To produce one extra unit, how much you will have to pay more. How do you calculate it? Calculate it this way. Change in total cost divided by change in quantity. That's how you calculate marginal cost. Okay, this is the graph for marginal cost. Okay, so now I'll show you how it works actually. So let's say When you are producing, how much you've been producing? You've been producing, let's say 127 cakes, and your total cost to produce 127 cake was actually, let's say that how much you produce, let's say each cake is $5, $10, so it's $1,270 you actually total cost. Okay, now you bring a new labor. Okay, now the thing I'm going to tell you is a little bit different. Try to understand these things, try to feel these things. That what I'm going to say you now is this. Let's say you bring one extra labor, and this labor is producing you, let's say 7 cakes. Okay, so the new cake number you will have now is 134, right there. One extra labor has been added to farm, to the business. Okay, and how much you produced? Extra labor. Now your production is this. I'll not say the like extra labor. I'll say now total production is 100 and let's say 38, 38, and total cost is how much? Let's say total cost is now 1,365. Okay, now guys, tell me, what is, very careful, look, what is marginal product? Okay, how much is the marginal product here? You can answer me here. How much is marginal product here? One question. So how much is marginal product? Marginal product means when you add one extra input. So how much extra he is producing? Extra producing is 138 minus 127. So is 138 minus 127 is equal to your 11. 11 cakes is the marginal product. Okay, of 11th labor. See? So number 11th labor came up and he produced how many? 11 cake. Okay, next. Now, how much? So what is your marginal cost? Okay. What is marginal cost? Marginal cost here, look. Marginal cost means one cost of one extra unit. Cost of one extra unit. So now, how do we know one extra unit here? Okay, how do we know these things? Which one? But we know in total 11 cake has been produced, and new expenses like for 11 cake, how much he spent? $90 he spent. We have to do an average here. If it happens that, like not necessarily like one, there are a lot of items out there in the world that one labor can produce one item in a whole day maybe, or 2 items in a whole day. Okay, there are a lot of items like this. Okay, if you ask someone, a labor to produce a pair of shoes, maybe it will take him a whole day to make one pair of shoes. Like handcrafted, I mean. Okay, so like this. So a lot of items there. So let's say one extra, it might possible here that you cannot produce one extra unit. You have to produce at least 10, 11 units in one go. What do you do that time? That time, you will have to find out changes in total production. How many cakes he produced? 11 cakes he produced. Okay, so you write here, change in total production quantity, okay, divided by, okay, divided by, it will be change in quantity in total cost of chili. This is the formula. Change in total cost divided by change in production quantity. Okay, that's your formula. So how much my total cost change? Change in total cost, how much is total cost change? So it's 1365 to 1270. So what is the difference? Difference is 95. Okay, is equal to, you can say difference is 95. All right, so you can say $1 zillion, how much? 1365 minus 1270 divided by change in production quantity. Production quantity changed from what to what? It changed 138, 127. You see that? This. That's your answer. Is equal to 95 divided by 11. Done. That's it. Almost close to $9. Okay. Close to $9 actually. Okay. 8 point something. Anyway, whatever it is. All right. 8.63. That's your marginal cost. Okay. Any questions for me, guys? Anything that you guys didn't understand, you want me to repeat or anything? Hope no. Okay. And marginal cost is, look at this one, is going down. Marginal cost will always go down slowly. Okay. Marginal cost will always go down, but at one stage, it will go high. Super high it will go. Why? Why is that? Okay, let's put this way. You are at the final stage of your business. Like all factors of production are being changed. Now you are working at the full capacity of your business. The whole premises is full. Labor, you cannot add any more labor unless you take extra branch. You cannot add anything at all. Now, if it happens that you need to produce one more extra unit of your product, what you have to do? Now you have to get a new plant. You have to find a new premises, new location, new premises, set it up, but all those things will come up and you'll set up the business. For what? One extra unit. Can you imagine how much will be the marginal cost for that unit? Oh my God, you have to take the whole premises new to produce this one extra unit. Okay. If it is a coffee, oh my God, that's a lot, very expensive for the business anyway. But business knows that this is the first sale. They will make more sales and it will be, on average, it will be very low, slowly. Okay. Yes. So that's why it goes down at the first, then it goes high. After a certain stage, it starts to go high, marginal cost. And again, slowly it will go down. I have already showed you these things. They have showed you these things. Output 1, so they're increasing the output. And you see, total fixed cost remains the same. Fixed cost doesn't change. Total variable cost is changing. You see, sometime increasing by 10, sometime increasing by 5, here increasing by 7. Doesn't matter, it depends. Total cost, total fixed cost plus total variable cost, so add these two up. Total cost. Average fixed cost. Total fixed cost divided by quantity. So you see total fixed cost is 12. You produce nothing. That's why it's undeterminable. So yeah. So they showed you how do you calculate these things. An interesting thing, marginal cost, you can see here. Marginal cost reduce, and again it's increase. Say 10, 6, 5, and increase. 5, 12, 20, 31, it keeps increasing. That's marginal cost. Okay. Average cost goes down, but after that one stage it starts to increase. Okay. All right. So you see here, average cost goes down, again it starts to increase. Average variable cost, also the same habit, but it goes down slowly. Average cost and marginal cost drops very quickly. Always remember that. Average cost drop very quickly because of why? Okay, I'll give you an example why it drops very quickly. When you set up a business first, you have first coffee you produce after making your coffee shop. After making your coffee shop, after establishing your coffee shop, you started the first coffee. How much you invested? Less than $100,000. First coffee you produce, how much is the cost of the first coffee? First coffee, you will say $100,000. When you produce second coffee, you total $100,000 plus a little bit extra more for the coffee bean, sugar, and milk. See, but divided by 2, it will drop. Third cup of coffee you produced, 1/3. So that's why at the beginning, average cost will drop very drastically. Okay, and I'll show you here too, as you look in here. Average total cost here. Yeah, see, 12, 14. How much is total cost here for the first one? 22. So the first item cost them $22. Second item cost them $28. Sorry, total cost. So second item is costing them actually extra, $6 extra. But look here, $14 gone down. 22, 14. And third one is 11. Fourth one is 10. See, doing that. This is going down very quickly. And it will start going up too. Yes. I already showed you these things. Okay, marginal. I have to show you these 3 of these things. Let me show you that. Average fixed cost is also drops very quickly. Okay, let me show it to you guys how it looks like. Okay. Okay. I think I should show you in this one. I'm going to delete these things now. Go. Don't need these things now to show you. So the other cost here, right? And I'm going to draw other cost in here. Let's say now I can take a blue color. Blue. Now I'm going to draw. Look, this will be your average fixed cost. I need this actually. Average fixed cost will be like this. It will drop very quick, then it will go down. Like this. It will not touch in there because I did not do it very well. It don't touch in there. It will go like this. Okay, let's try again. Like this. Average fixed cost. average fixed cost. Marginal cost, marginal cost will look like this. Okay, let me draw other average. Let's say here, your average cost will be like this. I show you. Oh, no. Freehand. Okay. Average. Write it with the same color of this thing, otherwise you guys will get confused. Average cost. Now we're going to draw average fixed cost. Total cost, average cost, average variable cost, sorry. Average variable will start from here. And it will be almost the same like this. Like this. Okay. And it's gonna be in here. Average variable cost. Now we're gonna do a marginal cost. Marginal cost will be the black one. Let's try with the black one. Which will, oh, no. Black. Here. It will be actually much more sharper drop first. Like this. Like this, it will be like a Nike sign. That will be marginal cost. Marginal cost. So these are the various curves we have. Okay. And if you take these things out, the total cost, sorry, the variable cost, fixed cost, if you take these things out, you can see the better picture in there. Yeah. Oh, no. Anyway, leave it. Okay, that's the case. Yes. So that's how it looks like. Okay. Let's change our sharing. Here we go. So remember this thing that average variable cost will never cross average cost. Why? Because average cost includes average fixed cost plus variable cost. So average cost will always, let me annotate in here, like the average cost, what I have to type. Average cost actually here is average variable cost plus average fixed cost. Don't forget this. Okay. Yeah, don't forget this. Here is only average fixed cost. So this average cost also have variable average fixed cost value. That's why average cost will be always above average variable cost. Okay. All right, now let's get out of here. Oh, this thing will remain here. Oh no, I don't want that. And clear all my drawings. Yeah, go. You know these things. So average variable cost, average cost, average total cost minus average fixed cost. So these things just. Let's talk about economies of scale. Do you have any more graphs in here? No. No, we don't have any more graphs in here now. Not much here. Okay. We don't have many of graphs now, a little bit. Okay. Long run cost and economies of scale. Okay. There are three types of scale here, return of scale here. Return. How do they mean by actually economies of scale? When they talk about economies of scale, what do they mean? They mean this. Economies of scale means like when you goes for a bigger scale. Okay, when you go for bigger scale, you will have some savings. That's how they mean the economy. Okay, there will be some economic benefit. It means there will be some benefit you will have because of a larger scale. Like what? When you go and produce a higher quantity, bigger number of quantities, per unit cost will go down. Per unit cost will be less. Again, at the same time, if you purchase items in a larger quantity, okay, if you do it larger quantities, you can buying also at a lower price. Make sense? They have cost advantages. It means that the costing are low because they're purchasing raw materials at a lower price. That's how they mean the economy of scale. Okay, so now this return to scale, there are three things: constant return to scale, increasing return to scale, and decreasing return to scale. What are these three things? They mean here is this way. When your economies of scale remain constant, your benefits remain the same benefit you are getting, it means it's constant. When you are getting and when your economies of scale start to increasing, it will also decrease at one stage. Okay, it will also increase at some stage. That will be decreasing return to scale. Okay, let's have a look in here. See, it's going down slowly. So this one is known as economies of scale. See, it's good. From here to here, it remains the same. This is known as constant, not going up or down. Now here is going up. This is economies of scale. Now the question comes up: why you say going up is this economies of scale? Because this blue line is actually your long run average cost curve. So when costing goes high, means you're these economies of scale. You are not doing economy of scale. Like, you know, when you go on a plane ticket, you want to buy economy class you buy, but sometimes, for example, not all of you buy economy, some of you buy better class too than me. Okay, so when you buy economy one, it means that like you are going into a beneficial one that will get you the maximum value, that will give you a better value of your investment or your money that you buy a purchasing thing. So this says here, it's very interesting that when your cost goes down, it means economies of scale. Economy means you are saving some. Scale means larger scale. They mean because of your larger scale, you are making some benefit out of it. Okay, that's how they mean that when the average total cost curve is going down, it means your economies of scale. Now from MES point to till this point, at this time, okay, they do not actually change, not going up or not going down. Okay. Yeah. So this is your constant economies of scale. Okay. Yeah. That's what they mean in here. The long run average total cost curve. So it says that the gray curves represent all the short run average total cost curve the firm experiences as it opens new plants. This new plant they're opening. So they face every new plant they open, they face the same thing happens, remains. Then it says as it opens the first 10 plants, average total cost declines while for plants 11 to 16. So you see here, this says here, these are your short run. All of the farm plants that you produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This till this 10th, you're actually is going down, 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 down. After from 11 to 16, look, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Till this 16, what happened? It remains the same. They go up or down. After this, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, these, all of these things are actually increasing again. Okay. So beyond 16 plants, the firm's average will start to rise, indicating it has gotten too big. So it means that business becoming very big. Maybe they open new plant, another plant. That's why their average total cost is too high. Okay. So they show you here long run and short run thing. Long run, input one. See, all the inputs remain the same. Input one is same. Two input. One input remain the same. Other input is changing. Short run. Here, input 1 and 2, both of them are changing. See? And the output is here. Long run. Okay. How can you gain economies of scale? Okay. It can be achieved through specialization and division of labor. What is specialization and division of labor? Look, what happens is this: when you've been working in a sector for a long time, you become specialized. You become specialized. This is specialization. So let's say you have a staff. If you are a big company, large company, you will have one whole dedicated department to do some work. For example, it's a coffee shop, very large coffee. You guys will have a research and development center to find a better coffee next time. I'm talking huge. Let's say Starbucks, a very big company. They come up with a new variety of coffee now, specialization. Division of labor means you allocate the labor according to their skills. What do? You allocate the work to the labor according to the skills. Okay. So you will be dividing the labors. Who is good and who is, let's just have you found some of them are not very competent, you send them for training. After they, this is one way. Another thing you can do that, like, okay, like one person you found is very good in computer programming, you send him computer programming. You found one guy is very good at roasting beans, coffee beans. You'd give him roasting beans. Roasting will be whole department. Everybody in that plant, in that department will working. They all are roasting expert. Like this. Yes. Okay. Individualities, it means like that. Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. That you do not have to divide. You can have a centralization benefit, centralized benefit. What does it mean? Centralized benefit means in this way. Centralized, like you will have a special, like I said, R&D, research and development, centralized group. So these people will be working in one place. Everything will be controlled from one center, head office. As a result, all the quality, all the shape, like franchising things happen in Australia, other countries as well. Like big companies, they franchise, and all of them will look same product, same taste like this. You will not reality in there. So that's another thing will come up. That also saves your a lot of it. It gives you some benefits as well. Okay. Another thing is they talk about, let's say, container principle. What does it mean? Okay. Container principle means is this, like you will be more efficient in packaging. You'll be more efficient in transportations. Okay. A company purchase, let's say, 20 kilo of coffee a month. A year, let's say 500 kilo coffee they buy in a month. So that person, we cannot actually hire one container. Okay. Another person you will see, he can actually hire a whole container they can hire. Another thing comes up. Okay. So we have another theory in another principle in container theory. They call it, if the surface area of a container increases by 100%, the volume it can carry will increase by 200%. Another thing is there. Because container is a cubic item. It's a cubic. So if you increase in one side surface area by 100%, it will actually increase all other ways too. To carry 200% more items. That's something in the container principle. Greater efficiency in large machines. Okay, as I said, large machine. So they can have better, like if you look at, let's say someone is producing chips, okay, and some company is producing chips. A big company, let's say Smith Chips, you will see they have a huge setup. They have customized machine, customized pillar, everything customized. Collect the potatoes from washing to till packaging, everything done by machine. Okay, so the machine actually give them actually a better efficiency. Okay. Yes. All right. So what next? Byproduct. Sometimes you produce other byproduct as well. Yeah. Okay. Multi-stage productions, some other thing will come up. So like when you are a larger business, when you're a big business, you can actually, the whole point is you can actually spend more money to save more money. Okay, maybe initially investment is too high, but you have to do everything computerized, everything by mechanical system, everything with large machines. Yes. Even using robots, yes, it will. Maybe you invest $1 million for buy a robot today to do some of your work, but think how much it will save you in the labor cost in the future. So that type of benefit they take actually. Okay, so they increase, the more production comes up, average cost will go down. That's actually part of indivisibilities. Okay, indivisibilities. Okay, that's the part. Like the more item you produced, okay, you can separate these items. So the more item you produce, the average cost will go down. Okay. Okay, the long run average cost curve known as envelope curve is drawn on assumption of there being an infinite number of plant size. Hence, it is smooth appearance of the next diagram on the next page. Okay, so it looks like this actually normally. Okay, that one that we showed in here. This one. Okay, it actually looked like this. Okay. Even in the long run, you'll see that the average cost will go down. Yeah. It started from here. Even it's going up. Look, it did not even go that much height, much in this level. Actually at this level, but look at it started from this level. It's going down. And these economies of scale comes out from where in long run? These economies of scale come out with the management problem. They can't control, the farm is too big. They can't control anymore. Okay. Repetitive work fosters work alienation. Okay. So when you do the same work again and again, okay, then what happens? You become monotonous. Okay. Yes. You become monotonous, detached from your work. Another problem comes up. More complex industrial relationships. When the bigger company comes up, it becomes more complex way to manage your staff. production line processor and interdependence. Oh, interdependence increases. So another thing comes up, like, so when you have specialized departments, everything decentralized, what happens? If one department is not doing well, not doing good, oh my God, it will screw up the whole operation. Interdependence will come up. Okay. Size of the whole industry and external economies of scale, industry infrastructure, it depends on this, like how big an industry will be. It depends on these things. How much they can get external economies of scale. If an industry is having lots of facilities provided by the government and the industry itself, it will grow faster. Okay, it will grow faster. And they have the economies and digital economy scale, both the thing it gets from internally and externally. Okay, they get both internally and externally. They get economies of scale and digital economies of scale. Economies of scale means it's beneficial for you because of the scale, what benefits, because of a large scale, what benefit you are getting. Digital economies of scale means what are the problems you are facing when it's a very large business. And it can come from both internally and externally. So think this way, internal economies of scale, again, internal diseconomies of scale. Again, external economies of scale and external diseconomy of scale. Okay, the diseconomy is coming from externals and outside. Competition is one of them. When it becomes very big, pressure group will be there. Your company becomes very, very big. You will see how many coffee shop people actually go and protest. I see a lot of coffee shops in Sydney, people are going protest in front of them because they're too big. They attract other pressure groups' attention. You see, how many companies has been criticized for plastic bag, but look, Woolies and Coles bin. Why? Because they are big. They attract to attentions. These economies of scale. Okay. All right. Okay. Diseconomies of scale is very inconclusive. It is always bad. It's not true actually. Diseconomies of scale is not that bad, and there is not much evidence that it is bad actually. But yes, there are problems in the industry relationship. When company becomes very big, the problem is that everybody look at you. We know these things already. Total revenue, average revenue, marginal revenue. Total revenue, we know this. I already discussed these things. Revenue to be calculated by how? Price into quantity. That's how we calculate the revenue. Average revenue, total revenue divided by how many quantity you have sold. That's average revenue. Marginal revenue, again the same thing like marginal cost. To produce extra unit, how much? To produce one extra unit, how much you are paying? That's marginal cost. I'm sorry. Marginal revenue is when you sell one extra unit, how much you are getting in. So if it is fixed price item, so all item will be the same price anyway. But there are some shops, in some countries you will find they have bargaining system. They can bargain. You can bargain. So not necessarily all the time their price is fixed and you have to buy with the same price. Not necessarily. Okay, sometimes they are different item is sold at different. Same item, it's sold as different prices to different people. This is price discrimination though, but that's how it is. Okay. Okay. So this says here. Okay. In the competitive market, I don't want to go through these things right now about the competitive market today, because we have a whole chapter on competitive market. Okay. So, but for you to know these things for right now, competitive market is a market where all the items remain the same, identical item. The items are same, identical item, exactly the same item. Potatoes, brass potatoes, everywhere the same. You can change it. Red potatoes, everywhere the same color, red skin potatoes. Okay, same. So there's nothing special in there. So someone is selling at a higher price, someone is selling at a lower price. You can't survive into the market. You have to, all these potatoes will be the same price in everywhere. Why? The same commodity. Okay, like I said before, in a very competitive market, agriculture item, commodity like non Non-differentiated product or identical product will always have to take the price that market may decide. They're the price taker. Okay, in competitive market, firm is a price taker. They accept the price what the market offered them. Okay, anything else? And in competitive market, remember that this line, like this is the demand curve, this supply curve, and the equilibrium price is in here. And this red line is your demand curve. I'm sorry, this in competitive market, don't forget this, in competitive market, this is your price, this is marginal revenue, average revenue, everything is this line, horizontal line in a competitive market. Also your demand curve is this line. Okay, this is not a demand curve, this is your demand curve, the farm. For the market, this is your market situation. This is okay. So this graph is for this graph in demand and supply curve. This graph on the left, this is your market. This graph is for the market. This is for the specific farm. So for the farm, your demand curve, average revenue curve, marginal curve all remain the same. Okay. Revenue curve when price varies with the output. It's an interesting one. Okay, where is that line? Here, this one is interesting to understand here. Look, when the price increases, look at here, price is $6 in here. What is your revenue? Here is 6, and how much quantity they're selling? They're selling at 3 quantities. Okay, so like what is your revenue, total revenue? 6 into 3, 18. If you reduce the price, so 6 into 3, this is your revenue. So now they show you here, how do you know this is 6? Because look at here, AR, average revenue curve. Okay, average revenue, that's your average revenue. It means that this is your price line. Okay, we'll talk more about these things in, I think next week we are talking about, I don't want to go into competitive market right now, because that's what is very important to go through. Loss mean imaging. These things are actually part of our competitive market and the monopoly market. Okay, I don't want to go through these things right now. We have a whole chapter. I don't want to confuse you at this moment. Okay, but remember these things. Okay, don't go through marginal revenue right now. Okay, don't go through marginal revenue either. So leave it as it is today. We'll continue from there in next class. I think next thing we have this in here. I'll show you. Week 4, I need week 5 and 6. Competition and monopoly. See, next week we have this chapter, competition and monopoly. We'll talk about this in next class. Okay, I don't want to confuse you right now with these things. Okay, we'll talk about it next week, week 5. Any questions for me, guys, so far? Any question for me? No?
So in last lecture also, I think one topic was left that you told that.
Which one is that? Let me go check on this one. Give me
elasticity. Elasticities.
Elasticities, yes.
Yeah.
Which topic we are supposed to go through? Which one was not done?
The one at the end, I believe.
Let me check in there. Give me a minute. Cross supplies. Let me see. Do we draw the graphs for the final exam? Yes. Economics, you must have to know these graphs. Oh, it's not opening. Okay, let's see what was not done. Income, price, cost, we did these things. I remember that. This one. Yes, consumer surplus and producer surplus. Very important one. I would like to talk about this one, consumer and producer surplus. Yes, it's not that much. Okay, let's go through consumer and producer surplus. Okay. What is these things? So consumer surplus is this, like, let's say you want to purchase a car, okay, and you are willing to you actually want to purchase a car, and the price of the car is, let's say, I'm not going to say the price of the car. Let's say you are willing to pay. How much? Let's say, for example, for the car you are willing to pay, let's say, $25,000. You're willing to pay for the car, okay, Australian dollar. So this is A is willing to pay 25. Okay. B is willing to pay, for example, let's say B is willing to pay, let's say, 23. Okay, and C is willing to pay. Okay, let's say C is willing to pay here, let's 23,500. Like, this is an example I gave you. Okay, and at the end of the day, you guys found the price of the car actually asked in the market. This price, okay, this is price, tell you these things today. Market price, equilibrium price is the same thing. Okay, market price is your equilibrium price. Okay, and you said the price they have decided to go is, let's say, that they're selling it for, let's say, $20,000. Okay, and another guy was there, is Mr. D, who was willing, he is willing to pay actually, for example, let's say that $19,000. See, we can see the differences now, right? So what we mean here is this, that so now you're willing to pay $25,000, but I went to the market and said, oh my God, they're asking for 20,000. You're happy to see 25,000. How happy you are? You are happy of $5,000. And B, willing to pay 23,000, went to the market and found just that they want to sell it actually for, let's say, 20,000. So 23,000 he was willing to pay, asking for 20. So $3,000 he's thinking he's getting benefit out of. If they buy the car, he's getting $3,000 of benefit. C thinks $3,500 will be his benefit. D will think, nah, it's still asking for 20,000. I don't think the value of the car has more than 19,000 to me. So still, D believes the car is overvalued by $1,000. Make sense? This is called consumer surplus. Now, if you add up all these benefits in here, this minus, let's say, $20,000. Okay. And here, this. Okay, so here, this person is happy about for how much? $5,000. Okay, this person is happy in here about for how much? He is happy about 3,000. And he is happy about 3,500, isn't it? 3,500, and he doesn't have any consumer surplus, 0. If you add this up all, it will be 5 and 3, 8, $11,500 is the total consumer surplus here. You can say here, total consumer surplus is how much? $11,500. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about consumer producer surplus. How do you calculate producer surplus? Producer surplus is this. Same way, let's say that you want to actually paint your house. Okay, I think I talked about this painting house before as well. Anyway, let's continue the same example. Okay, that you want to actually paint your house. So what you did in this case now, that you asked some people to actually do the work, ask for quotation. Equilibrium price, we don't know yet. We'll check it later. So you asked one person that how much you want to charge me, okay? How much you want to charge me if I ask you to do the work for my place, okay? To paint my place. They're asking these things to some credits, for example, okay? D will be minus 1,000, right? It's lost. No, D will be, there is no consumer surplus because there is no consumer surplus for D. What is consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is how much extra how much less you are paying, okay? Then how much less you are paying from the price you are willing to pay and how much market price, okay? That's where the consumer gets happy. So is D happy here? No, he's not happy. He couldn't even buy it yet. There is no surplus. He couldn't enjoy any benefits out of it. Okay. So now you are actually going to willing to charge for painting. For painting house, how much it's gonna charge? Okay. So now the same thing comes up in here now. Okay. How much they're willing to charge and how much they're actually being charged. Okay. Yes. Same thing will come up. Let's someone said that he's gonna charge actually, let's say $1,000. A is he's gonna charge actually $1,000. B is willing to charge for painting a house is let's say $1,300. Okay, that is B. C said that he is going to actually charge actually let's say $1,600. Okay, all right, and D says he's going to charge actually $1,900. And the owner finally decided that he's going to do the work, but he's decided that he'll be working for how much? $1,500. That's what he decided, that he is going to pay $1,500. So A is happy because he thought that he's going to do the work for $1,000, but now the owner has decided that he's going to pay $1,500. Okay. How happy is he? For $500. That is producer surplus. Here also the same case will come up in here. Okay, 1,500, this is $200. And he thought he's gonna work not less than 1,600. So he has no job. In this case, he got no job. And D also got no job because he's not willing to work for 1,500. Okay, so these people has no job here. They are no producer. So the producer surplus here will be $700. Okay, producer surplus is $700. Now, if I ask you total, what is the total surplus? Okay, total surplus will be equal to $11,500 plus $700 is equal to Australian dollars. It will be 12,200. That's total surplus. That is the consumer producer surplus in here. How do we draw these things? We draw like this way. Yeah. That's our consumer produce. No, not this, not this. Yeah. So consumer surplus, producer surplus. So that's how you get these things. Here is the market price. Okay. Total surplus is equal to consumer surplus plus producer surplus. That's it. Okay. Now let's talk about price control. Can I, okay, because 7 o'clock, can I continue, or any of you want some other commitment or anything that you guys want to leave? Anybody is there that want to leave, or I can continue for another, maybe another, I need another 5-10 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, Ian Balter, ma'am. Okay. Okay, now let's do one thing. Okay, I will stop it here now. Okay. Okay, no problem. It's okay. Okay, William. Next week, remind me someone about price ceiling and price floor. Okay, I'll talk about that next week. Now,
Yes, sir.
yeah, please remind me that. I'll talk about that as well. Now, can we get our attendance now, please?
Yes.
Let's do the attendance. Here you go. Okay. All right, let's do it very quick. And here, Dominic here.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much, Dominic. Then Jan is here already. He wanted to say goodbye. James Casey, not here today. He's sick actually. Mei Cheong.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you very much, Mei. Rita. Rita. No. Michael. Michael Gomsky. No. Then Faris is here, I believe. I have seen he is talking to me. Mingli Huang.
Yeah, he's
Yes, I'm
He
here.
is here. If I miss any of you, let me know straight away. T.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you very much, T. William just left. Okay, that's fine. I know William. Nak Nguyen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Nak. Rim Rashid. Rim. No. It's Udanta. Udanta. No. Alex.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Alex. Anna is already here. She's Jihu Wang. I think Jihu is already here. I've seen him. Muhammad Aslan. Muhammad Aslan. No. Hamza Abid.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Hamza. Anmol Deep Kaur. Anmol Deep. No. Hassan Rajab Hassan.
He was present.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Rajab Hassan is here. Hassan Rajab. No. Okay. If I miss any of you, let me know. I will fix it. Did I miss any of you?
Mole, he was present.
Anmol Kaur.
Yes.
Okay,
He was
that's
present.
fine. Anybody else? And yeah, done. Okay, when do we start the portfolio? Next week, week 5. We start the portfolio next week too.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Have a good day.
No worries. Thank you very much, guys. You guys also have a good day.
All right. See you,
Okay?
sir.
Enjoy your weekend too. Okay, stay safe, by the way. Stay safe.
You too, sir. You
Okay.
too.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Okay, my apologies. Next week, I will be actually going a little bit faster. If you guys don't stop me, I'll go a little bit faster. Send us the link. Okay, I'll send you the link later on. Yeah. The meeting is not going to get. Yes.